Hey guys, Nerdspire here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into two of the most popular adult shows of the last few years, Invincible and The Boys. Both are brutal, violent, and they take a dark look at superheroes, but one clearly stands out as the better show. Spoiler alert, it's Invincible. Here's why. First, let's talk about emotional depth. Invincible isn't just about flashy action and shocking twists, it's a story of growing up, of family dynamics, and of a young hero trying to find his place in the world filled with powerful figures. Mark Grayson, also known as Invincible, is a regular teenager who has to balance school, relationships, and, in the first season, his newfound powers. It's relatable, and the emotional stakes are quite high. Take Mark's relationship with his father, Omni Man. It's at the core of the show, and the emotional weight of the father son dynamic hits harder because it's so deeply tied to Mark's development as a hero. Now, compare that to The Boys, where there are heroes that are already jaded, corrupt, and often outright evil. Sure, Homelander is a fascinating character, but his narrative is more about power and control than the vulnerability we see in Invincible. It feels colder, less human. Second, let's talk about character development. Invincible excels at taking us on a journey with its characters. Mark's growth from a naive kid to a seasoned, battle hardened hero is compelling, and you genuinely care about his journey. Even the side characters like Adam Eve and Rexplode, they get their moments to shine and evolve. Meanwhile, in The Boys, the characters are more static. They're already cynical from the start, and while their personal struggles are interesting, there's less of a satisfying arc to witness. The show focuses more on exposing the corporate corruption behind the scenes than does to truly explore the characters. Third, the world building in Invincible is expansive and well thought out. The show builds a universe filled with complex organizations, superhero teams, different species, all of which are explored in great detail. You get a real sense of scale and history. The introduction of the Viltrumites alone sets the stage for an epic saga that will only get bigger the longer this goes on. In contrast, the boys operate in a world where the heroes are a product of a corrupt system, and while that's quite intriguing, it feels a bit more limited in scope. It's a deep dive into corporate control, but it lacks the cosmic stakes Invincible brings to the table. Something else that really weakens the show, in my opinion at least, is the shoved in your face politics and agenda. Whether you're on the side of the show or not, it feels over the top and honestly absurd and ridiculous. Trying to make claims about each side, but one in particular, that are so far from the truth just to demonize and divide, which we definitely don't need more of in the United States. And finally, the action and animation. Invincible has some of the most brutal, jaw dropping action sequences you'll ever see in an animated series. The fight scenes are fast paced, they're intense, they're visually stunning, plus, the animation allows for a level of creativity that live action just can't really match. This might be more on the controversial side of things, since a large part of what brings people in for The Boys is the gore and explicit scenes, but in my humble opinion, it's way too much. The gore of the scenes makes you uncomfortable, but as much as a few skulls being crushed, seeing a girl literally get ran through, and so much more, that doesn't really compare to the disgust you feel with more suggestive scenes. I won't and can't go into the specifics, but like any movie, sexual scenes really to me feel so unnecessary and just for the sake of showing things that you don't normally get to see, really for shock factor. So, to sum it all up, Invincible offers more emotional depth, character growth, epic world building, and the kind of action that only an animated show can deliver. It's a superhero show that knows how to balance heart with intense action, while The Boys is more about deconstructing the genre. Both are amazing in their own rights, but Invincible, in my opinion, takes the crown. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, if you think The Boys deserves the top spot. I completely am willing to listen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content like this. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye, y'all.